Morning, here is the news at 10. First, the highlight. Lagos State Government urges property developers to obtain drainage clearance environmental impact assessment before reclamation. Former President Muhammadu Buhari's burial holds today in Dara, Katsina State. On the foreign scene, deadly clashes leave dozens of people dead in southern Syria. And in sport, Chelsea defeats PSG to win FIFA Club World Cup. Now the details. I am Dele Agadumo. Lagos State Government has urged property developers to always obtain drainage channels clearance and environmental impact assessment EIA from the Ministry of the Environment and Water Resources before reclamation, dredging and sand filling to avert any form of disaster in future in the state. Commissioner for the Environment and Water Resources, Tokunbo Wahab, said the government will not condone further illegal dredging and reclamation across the state. Wahab said the environmental impact assessment drainage channels clearance would ensure that the reclamation does not extend beyond the drainage alignment and the discharge of stormwater does not affect the ecosystem. He said the team had to visit the Orange Island following several complaints from residents directing that the ongoing illegal dredging reclamation must stop immediately because there are a lot of outlets that discharge into the Orange Island lagoon. Wahab said the developers claimed they have approvals from some agencies, adding that any approval given without obtaining the drainage clearance and environmental impact assessment certificate from the Ministry of the Environment and Water Resources remains invalid, thereby invalidating the dredging. The Office of Sustainable Development Goals (SDGs) Lagos State, in partnership with Africa Human Capital Development Plus (HCD Plus), has convened a high-impact advocacy workshop for monitoring and evaluation M&E officers. This is in a significant push to improve human capital outcomes and data-driven development in the state. The workshop themed Strengthening Monitoring and Evaluation for Human Capital Development, held in Ikeja, includes monitoring and evaluation officers across ministries, departments and agencies, as well as public affairs officers in local government areas. Permanent Secretary of the SDGs Office, Kafaya Sarumi, emphasized the strategic relevance of the workshop in enhancing performance measurement, evidence-based governance and accountability within the state's development ecosystem. Sarumi applauded the technical partnership with Africa HCD Plus, noting their unwavering support in accelerating data-driven human capital outcomes across Africa. Troops of the Nigerian Army, 6th Division, have destroyed 11 illegal refineries and arrested 50 suspected oil thieves in the Niger Delta. Also, the Army said during the operation, it confiscated 25,000 liters of stolen products and discovered several illegal connection points used to siphon oil. The Acting Deputy Director, 6th Division Army Public Relations, Jonah Danjuma, said the special operation is conducted in 4 states of the Niger Delta region. Danjuma said in the operations that ensued in Rivers State, troops sustained the clampdown on attempts to re-establish new illegal bunkering hubs, including dismantling existing camps. He noted that the troops continued to dominate the waterways and hinterland, denying economic saboteurs and other criminals freedom of action in the Niger Delta region. The Nigerian Guild of Editors has urged the government to enhance security nationwide and called on the media to be patriotic in their information dissemination. In a communique issued at the end of the convention and signed by the President Eze Anaba and General Secretary Onoha Uke, the NGE emphasized that a nation's security and stability can be enhanced by leveraging its diversity, with the media playing a crucial role in promoting this goal. It noted that editors and journalists should promote responsible journalism practices and that the media and government should prioritize peace and inclusion and work towards building a stronger, more united Nigeria. The NGE also called on the government to equip the military and other security agencies with the requisite and modern weapons needed to ensure security. Now to the rest of the stories. President Bola Tinubu, alongside several former Nigerian heads of state, is expected to President Bola Tinubu, alongside several former Nigerian heads of state, are expected in Daura, Katsina State today for the burial of former President Muhammadu Buhari. Vice President Kashim Shettima, on the president's directive, is accompanying the remains of the former leader who passed away in London on Sunday back home. According to the presidency, the burial will take place later today in line with Islamic tradition at the late president's hometown in Daura. The former President Buhari served as military head of state between January 1984 and August 1985 and as the two-time elected Nigerian president between 2015 and 2023. President Tinubu has also ordered flags to fly at half-mast as a mark of respect for the departed leader. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has mourned the passing of former President Muhammadu Buhari, describing his death as a colossal loss to Nigeria. Governor Sanwo-Olu, in a condolence message issued by his special advisor on media and publicity, Gboyega Okoshile, said Buhari was a transparent, courageous and honest leader, describing him as a man that truly loved Nigeria and contributed his quota towards her development. The governor commiserated with the immediate family of the late President Buhari and President Bola Tinubu over the death of his predecessor. He also sympathized with leaders and members of the ruling party, All Progressives Congress (APC), over the demise of one of the respected founders and leaders of the party. Governor Sanwo-Olu highlighted that the former President Buhari demonstrated unparalleled leadership skills, patriotism and courage, also describing him as a patriot who contributed immensely to the unity, growth and development of Nigeria. President Buhari served passionately as military governor, Minister of Petroleum Resources, head of state and President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces. Meanwhile, the All Progressives Congress (APC) Lagos State chapter has extended its deepest condolences to the family, friends and the entire nation on the passing of former President Muhammadu Buhari. In a statement signed by Lagos APC spokesperson Sheye Oladejo, the party says the late president dedicated his life to the service of the country. The Lagos APC recognizes the honor his immense contributions to the progress. The Lagos APC recognizes and honors his immense contributions to the progress of the party and the advancement of democracy in Nigeria. Describing his death as a monumental loss, APC prays for comfort and strength for his family and all who knew and admired him. And now to foreign news. At least 30 people have been killed in violent clashes in southern Syria, with dozens more injured as tensions escalate between minority groups. The fighting broke out in the city of Sweda, involving between Sunni tribes and fighters from the Druze religious minority. Syria's Interior Ministry confirmed the deaths, while the UK-based Syrian Observatory for Human Rights placed the toll at 37. Authorities have deployed security forces in a bid to de-escalate the violence. This latest unrest follows the collapse of the Assad regime in December as a new Islamic-led government struggles to gain control over a country still gripped by instability and deep divisions. The situation remains tense as calls grow for national reconciliation and peacekeeping efforts. Now, sports. English Premier League club Chelsea has defeated Paris Saint-Germain in the final of the FIFA Club World Cup 3-0 at the MetLife Stadium to win the first edition of FIFA's new competition. The Blues blew PSG away with an impressive first-half performance as 2 goals from midfielder Cole Palmer and 1 from João Pedro had the English Premier League side 3 goals to the good at the break. PSG were the favourites for a game attended by United States President Donald Trump after coming to the United States fresh from winning the UEFA Champions League and having destroyed Real Madrid 4-0 in the semi-finals. It was a scoreline that few could have predicted as Chelsea capped what has been a long but memorable season. Chelsea became the first ever winners of the expanded 32-team Club World Cup, having also won the UEFA Conference League and finished 4th in the Premier League. And that is our news at 10. Just before we go, slow down at road junctions, intersections and pedestrian crossings. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms: X at Traffic Radio 961, Facebook Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, Instagram Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Subscribe and watch news and programs live on YouTube at Traffic Radio 961. Visit our website on www.trafficradio961.ng. You can also listen to Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM live on My Lagos app for timely updates. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration introduced the Lagos Economic Acceleration Program, LEAP, to reduce the effects of COVID-19 pandemic on small businesses? You can get more details on the Lagos State Government website. To end the news are the highlights of the major stories. Lagos State Government has urged property developers to always obtain drainage channels clearance and environmental impact assessment (EIA) from the Ministry of the Environment and Water Resources before reclamation, dredging and sand filling to avert any form of disaster in future in the state. President Bola Tinubu, alongside several former Nigerian head of state, are expected in Daura, Katsina State today for the burial of former President Muhammadu Buhari. We also told you that at least 30 people have been killed in violent clashes in southern Syria, with dozens more injured as tensions escalate between minority groups. And in sport, English Premier League club Chelsea has defeated Paris Saint-Germain in the final of the FIFA Club World Cup 3-0 at the MetLife Stadium to win the first edition of FIFA's new competition. For contact with the newsroom, send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. That is news broadcast compiled by Zainab Adibeshi. I am Dele Agadumo. Good morning. Thank you for listening.
In a city that never sleeps and traffic that never slumbers,